My first dribbling practice game is go score. Make sure every child has a ball, place a portable goal someplace else, and tell them all to go score. They do it all at the same time. Once they get all the balls in the net, pick up the goal and move it someplace else, and have them do it again. Separate all your soccer balls into 2 piles, and place 2 goals away from the balls. Divide your players into 2 teams. I use boys against girls, kids versus coaches, or just place your kids in 2 groups and try to balance them in skill and speed. Then you just say go. Each group tries to score their pile of balls before the other team does the same thing. They really race to win. The next group of dribbling games introduces changes of direction. The first of these is driving school. To play driving school, make sure every player has a ball and tell them you are the driving instructor. Don't crash into anybody. Ready, go. And I move left, right, forwards, backwards, stop, start. And while I'm doing that, I call out the instructions and they all have to do the same thing that I do. After your kids get pretty good at following you when you're the instructor, let them take turns being the driving instructor themselves. They really love that. Next game is a fantastic ball control game. Soccer Help calls it marbles, but I call it having a snowball fight. Every player has a ball, and the object of the game is to hit another player's ball with your ball, and you call out splat. All my parents play this one too.
Kick it. Oh, Brett, don't you get my... Oh. Kick my ball.
Let's say splat!
It's a very active game. It teaches them to dribble, protect the ball, and attack other balls, which is a great lead-in to accurate passing and shooting. You can do it in a large area without boundaries, or you can do it in a confined space. Every so often I challenge them that no one can hit coach's ball. I make myself a target, they all try to hit me, and I weave in and out of them, and they're all trying to hit my ball. I can't praise this practice game enough. It teaches great ball control. It forces the players' heads up for field awareness. You will never dribble through cones again. Why dribble around a cone when you can dribble around another kid? Another good turning game I use is called Ring Around the Parent. You can set up a shooting line similar to monster kicks, place every kid with a ball, put a parent out in front or a cone if you don't have a parent. When you blow the whistle, all the players dribble out around the parent, they come back to where they started, and they stop. You can combine this with animal soccer, it works great. You can see that the kids have a lot of free dribbling space going to and from the parent, but it gets very congested while they're actually going around the parent. They learn to control the ball in a very tight space this way, and that's just like a real match. You can use one parent or more than one parent, you can use cones, it doesn't really matter. Just be sure to have all the players do the activity simultaneously. But this next group of games is designed to get them turned around and going to score in the correct direction. This is another case where I demonstrate a very specific soccer skill. It's called the inside of the foot turn. I have them watch me dribble a ball, I go past the ball, I block the ball with the inside of my foot, I push it and dribble away in the other direction. You only have to show them this once or twice. After I've shown the kids how to turn the ball, we play the turnaround game. I use a second coach or a parent positioned on the other end of the field from myself. I tell the kids to dribble towards the other coach. When they approach him, he does a big circular arm movement, calls them by name, and tells them to turn around. They turn the ball and they come back towards me. When they get to me, I do the same thing. Of course, every player has their own ball, and every player only turns around when called by their name, so we get players going back and forth, which creates traffic, obstacles for the kids to dribble. Another great ball control game I teach is Hickory, Dickory, Dock. In addition to the great soccer skill it teaches, it's also a good way to calm a practice that's gotten a little bit too rowdy. I demonstrate how to do Hickory, Dickory, Dock by telling the players that I'm just going to lightly touch the ball with the bottom of my foot. Make sure you tell them to not stand on the ball. All their weight stays on the foot on the ground. While eventually they will learn to hop, at first they just need to step, alternating feet without hopping. Sometimes I have to physically support a child from falling over in the beginning and actually lift his foot to show them how to do it. Then they can usually do it slowly by themselves. This game only takes a few seconds to do, but if you do it at every practice, you will be amazed at how good they get at this. I have kids now that can do hickory dickory dock, hopping, full speed at age 3 and 4. If you practice this every practice. The last thing I do at practice is a game called Balls in the Bag. To set it up, you just call out, balls in the bag. No other instruction required. The simplicity of this game is the beauty of it. At the end of practice, I have the players help me put away the balls into the bags by kicking them in with their feet and not their hands. They love it. At first, they use inset drives to shoot the ball into the bag, and later they learn how to flip the ball up. Abolishing the use of hands from your practice is incredibly effective. You will see improvement almost immediately. Do it on your very first practice and stick with it. Soccer is played with the feet.